Okay, this is a bit random and I don't really have a plan what to say, but I found a button that allows me to do a voiceover on a video, so that's what I'm going to do for this one. And I also worked out how to put data over the top from an app that I use called Race Chrono Pro. So here we go. This is qualifying, and as you're about to see, I had one or two issues with traffic, not necessarily the fault of the person in the car in front, but misunderstanding, like there, where I was under the impression he was leaving me an enormous gap, and as I started to drive into it, he decided that he wanted the gap for himself. No harm done. Apologies for the gesticulating that I did, both there in your rear view mirror and here into my rear view mirror. It was just one of those things. Car's going well. Thanks, Bill. Maz Sport for tuning it up for its current state of wear. What did I get to? About 225 there down the straight, hitting the brakes, down to about 172, 173 at the apex, back on the power, down to turn 2. Now, it's weird. This session, the car was understeery and I wasn't really comfortable, and I got loads of traffic. And then, lo and behold, I also do a personal best in another lap and a half's time. So, you've got to be happy with that. Here we go, a bit more traffic, but again, nice and clear, staying somewhere that I didn't necessarily want to be. And I think this is Tim. Hello, Tim, driving somebody else's, Jeff's Hyundai, I think, staying nice and out of the way. I think this lap was kind of already done and dusted for me anyway, but, pushing on, giving it a nudge, seeing if I could claw back some time. What am I doing? Trying to work out how to drive the car with more power. So back to that earlier point. So Bill at Mazsport tuned my car, which hadn't had a tune up for a long time, and found lots and lots of horsepower. It's much crisper. Power delivery is great. And we're now starting to set up for what will actually be my PB. And even on the PB, actually, in this corner in particular, I make a complete balls up of the corner, final corner on what turned out to be my fastest lap, so I've got to feel that there's more speed in the car. But here we go. So this is essentially starting what will be my personal best in this car at this track. What did I get to? So I'm going to guess 225 maybe, we'll see, before hitting the brakes at about the 90 metre mark. 223, trying not to scrub off as much speed as on the previous lap. 175 minimum at the apex. That's Mayan in front of me. Hello, Mayan. What are you doing over there? Get back on the racing line, at least until I want to overtake you. There he is, out wide, and I'm hugging it tight. Short shift to fourth. Jump about on the bumps on the apex. My car hates turn 3. Slide it down the inside, hit the brakes at the 50. And tuck in nice and tight. Don't use all of the exit on the exit, just go to mid-track, back over to the right hand side, quick grab of correction, back on the power as early as possible up the hill. Use all the track you're allowed to use, don't hit the red line. Brake just past 100, down to third, use the curb on the inside but not the sausage. Let the car run out wide, past the grate onto the ripple strip, no further because that's grass. Touch the brakes, dab, turn in. Again, let the car wash out all the way that you can, and then mid-track again, braking about the 50, tuck in nice and tight because that's where most of the grip is. Let the car wash out as far as possible without running all four wheels over the line, because that would be cheating. And this is where I can make a complete hash of the corner on my fastest lap. Watch this. Completely stuff it all up, grab the gears twice, run wide out onto the concrete, flap it about on the apex, try to get back on the power, rush my shift to fourth. There we go. So anyway, there's probably more time there, but I did the best I could, and lo and behold, I think I'm about to do a 43.3, which is a PB by almost half a second, and was good enough for third in overs. Fourth outright, because the ridiculously fast Kurt McCready in his under 2 litre car is over there on the left on pole. So this is a start. I'm just going to show one lap because reasons I'll explain in a minute. Here we go. Get a reasonably good start. In actual fact, very briefly, even though Stephen Engel is there on my left, I think I get my nose in front of him. I'm second. That's quite good for me. So I'll take that. Although, as you're about to see, Kurt recovers from a fairly average start and slides it straight down the inside here. and there was nothing I could do except go a little bit wide, and because I had to go a little bit wide, Stephen Engel appears there as well. So I'm back and forth, but finished this race third in over 2 litres, which is also where I finish all of the other races this weekend. Yeah, I think I've also at this point got another super quick under 2 litre car, Maddie Burke's behind me, so I'm a little bit eyes on the mirror, a little bit eyes in front, but in truth knowing that if everybody drives the car they've got and the talent they've got, the 3 people in front of me are going to finish in front of me, and I by all rights should finish roughly where I am because I've got plenty more horsepower than the car behind me. Interesting weekend, fast, happy with that, scored lots of points, have a feeling that I regained third in the championship, or gained third in the championship actually, my highest position of the year so far. But in all of the races I pretty much had daylight in front of me and daylight behind me rather than lots of good battles. So one of those ones where I'm happy with car pace. For the most part happy with my driving. I was a bit scrappy in quali as you saw, but you know, what can you do? You drive as best you can, and if you're not quite good enough you don't finish as high up as you want. But you know, drove the car onto the trailer at the end of the weekend, which is always objective number one, and you know, at some point I set a PB, so yeah, pretty good. There's Mayan, also had a great weekend. We shared a garage, and I'll leave it to my daughter to bang her head on the roll cage. Ow. On her way to switching the camera off. And that's it. Thanks for watching, you weirdo. It's not that interesting.